The little seal's blood was barely dry, and the amniotic sac was still attached when a hungry polar bear spotted it. The terrified mother had no choice but to abandon her baby. If the polar bear can catch a seal, its starved body will finally fill out again. But right now, the emaciated polar bear can barely even walk. Will it be able to catch its prey? Ever since the polar bear cub and his dad met, the little guy has been following his dad around, feasting every single day. The only thing keeping this short-lived relationship going is that the dad must stay full. Otherwise, the cub will turn into his next meal. Polar bears are solitary animals. Once mating season arrives, they turn on each other faster than you can flip a page. To fight for mating rights, even a father and son will fight to the death. But he doesn't know that the little guy's body hasn't fully developed yet. After the father and son parted ways, the polar bear cub had no choice but to wander alone. Right now, it is seal breeding season. The mother seal endures the pain of labor to give birth to her pup, and the bloody scent of birth has already spread. The polar bear cub can smell it from miles away. A newborn seal pup can't swim yet to save herself. The mother seal has no choice but to abandon her baby. The poor little guy is less than 10 minutes old. He didn't even have time to take a single sip of milk before becoming the polar bear's lunch. But what the cub never expected was that this would be his only real meal. For the next 6 months, global warming has accelerated the melting of the sea ice. Polar bears who rely on the ice to hunt are facing a total collapse. Hunting seals has become a luxury. Without food, polar bears are forced to break into human settlements. Our polar bear cub is one of them. They dig through the trash looking for anything to eat. But if they accidentally eat plastic or electronic parts, it will be fatal. With so many polar bears invading, the safety of the residents is under huge threat. Left with no choice, people have to tranquilize them and use a helicopter to fly them back to Hudson Bay. Global warming has caused the ice to melt, so seals no longer need to rely on breathing holes to get air. This indirectly makes hunting much harder for the polar bear cub. Going without food for so long, the little guy's body is shrinking fast. Right now, he can only rely on his remaining fat to stay alive. Miles away from the cub, his dad has found the remains of a seal underwater. Even though the carcass is rotting, it's the only food he can get his paws on right now. An adult polar bear can eat dozens of pounds of meat in one sitting, and the blubber is always their favorite part. Only a belly full of fat can help their bodies build up energy quickly. When food is scarce, a polar bear won't share a single bite. Because the crew got too close, the polar bear was forced to abandon his meal. To get better tracking shots, the crew sent out a remote-controlled spy rover this time. But the filming process wasn't exactly smooth sailing. Because the signal on the tundra was so bad, they couldn't transmit the video back in real time. Plus, the spy rover got completely wrecked by the polar bear. To make matters worse, the bear even used the camera like a soccer ball. Days of tracking footage were completely smashed to pieces. Just when we thought filming would have to stop, the solution turned out to be super simple. The crew mounted a portable Wi-Fi router on a drone. Not only does it leave the polar bears alone, but it also sends back live footage. It has tons of monthly data, and it's even an exclusive gaming collaboration model. With a huge milliamp battery, the internet speed is fast and stable, and the battery life is crazy long. You can stream videos for hours without losing connection. In a world where the floating ice is almost completely empty of seals, the starving polar bear cub has to keep searching for anything he can eat. Suddenly, in the distance, a massive bearded seal is resting on the ice. The little guy has to seize this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. When you are this hungry, hunting such a huge seal is still a massive challenge. The way polar bears hunt seals has been going on for 400,000 years. Both sides know exactly what the other is up to. The polar bear slowly approaches against the wind. The resting seal doesn't suspect a thing. The polar bear cub pokes his head up to lock in the exact location and then goes straight into stealth mode. This hunt was almost perfect. Unfortunately, his starving body just didn't have the strength. This failed attempt made his already low-fat reserves even worse. As temperatures keep rising, massive glaciers are starting to collapse. The starving polar bear cub lies on the ground in total despair, staying completely still to burn as little energy as possible. It's the only thing he can do right now. Because they can't catch any prey, some polar bears have even started killing each other. Seeing this kind of behavior is a warning sign that the polar bear's habitat is on the brink of total collapse. 2 months later, the polar bear cub is still barely holding on. At this point, he hasn't had a drop of water or food for 6 whole months. The fat inside his body is completely gone. Without any fat to keep him warm. His weakened body just shivers uncontrollably. If he doesn't get some food soon, he will be dead within 2 weeks. Right now, the cub is in no shape to hunt. Even just walking has become a luxury. He desperately needs a full meal right now. If he could just stumble upon a seal feast like his dad did, his shriveled body would finally fill out again. But out here in this freezing, desolate wasteland, a thought like that is just a pipe dream. In the end, the little polar bear cub just couldn't make it. Maybe death was actually a relief for him. The scent of his body has already been picked up by Arctic wolves. This isn't their territory, so the wolf pack needs to eat quickly. Just as the Arctic wolves are feasting, the father bear catches the scent and rushes over. To the Arctic wolves, a polar bear weighing nearly half a ton is still a massive threat. The wolves have the advantage in numbers, but the polar bear couldn't care less. When the dad looks down and catches a familiar scent, he is instantly ready to kill. The Arctic wolves don't fight battles they can't win, so avoiding a fight is the smart move here. When food is scarce, male polar bears will eat absolutely anything they can find, even their own children. It sounds cruel, but that's just the rule of survival. In this freezing wasteland, having lost his meal, the Wolf King isn't going to let this go easily. He quickly calls his pack together and launches a fierce attack straight at the polar bear.